everybody. Welcome back to The Loop. As we prepare for Christmas, I want to spend our time here continuing a conversation on faith. For centuries, people in the Old Testament lived by faith in a Savior, a lot like we do. Their faith was future tense. God is going to do something in the future to save His people. Our faith is past tense. God has done something in the past to save His people. Old Testament and New Testament, faith in Jesus is the critical component in our relationship with God. In many ways, the Old Testament is a precursor of what is to come in the New Testament. We read story after story that is designed to prepare us for the coming of Jesus. Yesterday, I told you the stories of Abraham and Joseph. Today, I want to tell you the story of Moses. When Moses was born, he was born on purpose and for a purpose. God's plan for Moses was that he would one day grow up to deliver God's people from a life of slavery. Unfortunately, when Moses was born, Pharaoh, the man in power, he made a new law. He wanted every Hebrew boy who was in power to be murdered. It wasn't an attempt to just wipe out kids. It was an attempt to wipe out a threat to his kingdom. But God intervened. He protected Moses. Moses found refuge in Egypt. He would eventually grow up, and one day he would fulfill his God-given purpose. He would deliver God's people from slavery. Thousands of years later, Jesus was born into this world. He was born on purpose and for a purpose. God's plan was that he would one day grow up to deliver God's people from a life of slavery, specifically slavery to sin. Unfortunately, Jesus was born when Herod was in power. Herod made an aggressive move. He wanted to kill every boy in Bethlehem 2 years old and under. It was an attempt to wipe out any threat to his kingdom. But again, God intervened. He protected his own son, who found refuge in Egypt. Jesus would grow up, and one day he would fulfill God's purpose for his life. He would deliver God's people from slavery to sin. In Galatians chapter 5, verse 1, Paul would write about the freedom that Jesus came to give his people. There he wrote this: "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." Jesus came to provide the ultimate freedom to humanity, freedom from a life of sin and eternal consequences. My hope is that these stories that took place thousands of years apart would continue to build your faith in Jesus as God's ultimate plan to help His people.